Ooh.
We still don't have a nut button?
It's in a box somewhere. I don't know.
Jesus, Zach,
still
you've
haven't
had like a
packed it
week and
out.
a half.
You didn't even hear the story. The other day, I still had to unpack my clothes. It's been like a week and a half. And I was like, I couldn't find the underwear. So I was like, shit, I got to unpack. I got out of the shower. I'm full naked. I'm unpacking boxes. Okay. Eventually, I come across some shirts. I put on a shirt, so I'm Pooh Bearing it. I'm unpacking boxes. I'm Pooh Bearing it. And I get to the bottom box. And I find some shorts. I'm like, fuck, where the fuck are my underwear? They were in the open suitcase the whole time.
Oh, bother.
Pooh Bear in it.
Hey everybody,
Yeah,
welcome
you
back
got the
to
shirt on,
Dungeons
it's
the
Pooh
Mad
Bear.
Mage. It's session 84, and yeah, that's probably how tonight's gonna go. So, let's jump into everything with a little bit of a recap. Previously, in the Dungeon of the Mad Mage, the party found themselves in a magical primeval forest, suddenly challenged by a belligerent elven woman. The forest seemed to rise up at her anger, beasts and plants arriving to challenge the party for their assault on nature. The elven woman demanded retribution for the damage that Matashtai had done to a tree, slicing open each of the party's arms in turn, with the exception of Bones, who elected to perform the task himself. There was a great deal of tension in this meeting, with the elven woman flat out saying that she would kill anyone who resisted her justice, a point that was reinforced with the arrival of a great green dragon, Tirulai. The tension eased somewhat after it became clear that the party would acquiesce to the woman's demands. She introduced herself as Willow, the warden of this wood. She then, in a almost complete 180 of attitude, extended an offer of hospitality to the party, inviting them to the Stone Tree Tower to the northwest. The party accepted and followed her there as the forest and its creatures bled away. Within the tower, the party met Halaster, an awakened tree and companion to Willow. The party conversed with the two for some time, and while Halaster was quite glib, Willow kept the tree from revealing too much information to the party. She had extended her hospitality, but it was clear she didn't quite trust them yet. Ashes asked about Borden, and Willow shared that he had been here some time ago. She said that he had left with the intent to visit the ruined settlement to the southeast, a place where a cult to Malar, the Beast Lord, had previously resided. The place was now the territory of Mobar, leader of a tribe of werebats. Willow had not seen Borden since. As the party prepared to leave, Willow told them that some cloakers had invaded the forest to the north, and that they fled at her approach. She told the party somewhat reluctantly that she would reward them should they find the time to rid the forest of the creatures. Acknowledging this, the party left and headed southward, skirting the edge of the forest through the thick fog. Eventually, they arrived at the edge of a ruined settlement. The forest encroached on its northern edge, nature slowly reclaiming its surroundings. The party spent some time exploring an abandoned priory, finding it remarkably well outfitted with lighting and plumbing. Continuing on, the party endeavored to explore more of the settlement. But in doing so, they stumbled upon a roost of werebats. The creatures bolted, fleeing to the skies. The party gave chase, but as they headed deeper into the ruins, the screeching and flapping of wings rose to a cacophony. The tribe had assembled. Suddenly, the roofs of the buildings around them were filled with goblin werebats, and a large albino specimen came forth. Mobar, Stormhowl. Words were exchanged, threats, and then the werebat chief called for blood. The party was swarmed in an instant, beset from all sides, but two things proved to be the downfall of the bats. One, they truly feared the werewolf form of Ashes, and two, Ezrah was by far Mobar's superior when it came to the storm. In a matter of moments, the majority of the werebats lay dead or had fled, and the great albino bat, streaked with lightning, was at the party's mercy. That is where we fade in the scene. So, you have just annihilated a fair number of the bats. There are bloody, smoldering corpses all around you. You can still hear the screeching and flapping of wings as other bats flee the area. Mobar has just thunked against the roof as Ezrah has held person the creature, and then he slid down off the side and got caught by ashes. I believe you all then set about tying him up so that he couldn't struggle once the hold person wore off.
Can people talk when they're held?
No.
Not really. They're kind of like, lockjawed type scenario,
And it only lasts for a minute, so...
Yeah. So it's pretty quick. So, as we fade into the scene,
Assuming he doesn't save prior to it.
True. As we fade into the scene, Mobar finds himself surrounded. Many members of his tribe dead, and he realizes that he is at the mercy of each of you, right? And he kind of just, he doesn't go full slack, but he definitely, he loosens, and he kind of turns into that, showing zero resistance kind of scenario. So as the hold person comes off of him, he is just there kind of bound. I'm assuming his arms are bound and his wings are bound.
Oh yeah.
I say arms and wings, but they're actually kind of one and the same in the current form that he's in. Yeah, he's in kind of hybrid form right now. So binding his hands would actually bind his wings up underneath like that. So he's kind of like this, and he's just looking around very breathing very slow, very calm. His eyes are really twitchy, right? And you see across his kind of albino skin, you see these little faint veins of blue, and they look like they would just be spider veins, like blood veins, right?
Mm-hmm.
But occasionally you'll see just this little zip of lightning through the lines.
I would like to point out, just in case something happens, I did brand him with the castigation.
Absolutely.
So there's these three little, what look like, I guess, scar tissue, kind of but it kind of makes the shape of almost like a fan.
Gotcha.
So.
Yeah, your brand of castigation is you all anti Archer Morlin over here, and you branded people with vampire fangs.
It's not vampire fangs. It's werewolf fangs. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Such a difference.
It is a difference.
Such a difference.
I enjoy his involvement.
Not you, Jay. Anyways.
Hey guys, there's a hellscape in here. Do you guys want to look?
Oh yeah, right.
There's a hellscape?
Okay, sure. A hellscape.
Hold on. I'm gonna go around. I'm gonna slap Ezra a couple times.
Oh shit! Whap Ezra a couple times.
Wow, that's a weapon. That's some good weapon.
So as this is happening, right? You have Mobar kind of at your mercy. Matashtai steps over, making sure, right, wanting to make sure Ezra is no longer on death's door. Should something else happen, etc.
I walk over and I kick Ashes in the shin 3 times.
Ow.
Ow!
Nice.
I think I pressed that one too. All right, you get 4.
4?
No,
13. You get 13.
13. Okay. 13.
No, he gets all 4. I'm fine using all 4.
Oh, you're giving the fourth one too? Okay. Plus 9.
22.
That.
Plus 9 as well.
So,
And then I take out the healing and I cook both of them once.
Ah, that feels.
Jesus. There's so
Why does
much.
it look like it hurts, but why does it, and it feels good? It's weird.
So over the
Nobody
course of
used
the
to-
next
What
minute,
was the last thing he did? What did you do?
he's using the staff of healing.
Poke him.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So over the course of the next minute, Matashtai sets about healing Ashes and Ezra. Because keep in mind, you can only do
where all these
a
heals
hand of healing once per turn, right?
Oh. Okay, so another 17.
So it takes a while to go through
No,
all of
you
this.
get a
Nope,
6.
nope, Ashes, you get 6. Ezra, you get 10.
6. Okay.
So while that's happening, what are the rest of you doing? Ashes, you're right there with Mobar. You had him
yeah.
kind of like tied up. And presumably Ashes and Ezra can't stray very far away from Matashtai, but you two could be doing something else, and Bones, you could be doing something else. So what is it that the rest of you are doing?
I think I'm gonna look around the crazy sacrifice room.
Okay.
I think Ezra would make his way towards the crazy sacrifice room and assist.
Kind of like get in the doorway or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're in the doorway while Matashtai and is healing you in Ashes. Kind of like looking inside. Okay. Let's give you the full enchilada of this crazy sacrifice room, I guess is how we're calling it. So,
Can I have a burrito rather than an enchilada?
this
A burrito is just an enchilada without sauce.
what the fuck?
It is. What the fuck? Don't what the fuck me.
That wasn't what the fucking you. I was what the fucking the conversation. Yes, you're basically correct that a burrito is just an enchilada without sauce, but that's not the point that I'm trying to make. Oh my god. Okay, so
I mean, like most Mexican is just the same thing, slightly different.
yeah, that's most food. Period. You know.
Yeah, but I don't see that. So
So
Like you don't see race.
this building
Definitely did not
has
say
a tall. You motherfuckers. This building is taller than the others, with a peaked slate roof about 30 feet high or so. The iron spikes line the peak, while carvings of ferocious exotic beasts snarl from where they perch on the outer walls. Inside, where you guys are at now, within, you find a long, rather opulent room. The floor is tiled in a deep green, like a lush grass. The walls are painted with lifelike forest scenes that show the barest glimpses of predators, some showing no more than their glowing eyes in the darkness between the trees. In the middle of this place is a block of blood-stained white marble, an altar that gives off waves of primeval energy. Every single one of you, as soon as you lay eyes on it, you just feel this kind of like your blood goes cold, right? And you get this tingling sensation. Your heartbeat increases. It feels for a very brief moment when you first look at this thing like you're being stalked, and you know it. In front of the altar,
yeah, Ashes, I think this is literally your your modus operandi.
in front of the altar is a humanoid skeleton, desiccated flesh clinging to yellow bone, still covered in tattered hide armor. Pierced through the chest of the skeleton and into the blood-stained white marble altar is a bizarre-looking sword. It looks archaic, has a hide-wrapped hilt with a blade napped from some sort of stone. It's wide at the base and tapered narrow at the end, and the whole thing glows faintly of moonlight. Actually, it looks like the blade that Willow used on each of you, but it looks like if hers was more of like a short sword variety, this looks more like a long sword variety.
All right, I'll grab Mobar and I'll turn him towards the altar and be like, "What is this? What is this shit?"
It's altar to Malar, the cultists from long ago. This was their place. Their tabernacle.
Long ago? Does the corpse look long ago? So it's
Yeah,
got
it looks
skin?
desiccated. Yeah, it's like bare flesh clinging to bones. It looks very old. It looks ancient.
Oh.
Not
Okay,
like maybe not like
like mummy skin or some shit.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Looks like decades, if not hundreds of years at least.
Okay.
No gum or red flesh or anything like that.
So this altar is just for your basic sacrificial worship.
Oh, yeah, I just know legends, rumors. It's a dark place.
Is there any script on the altar?
Roll a investigation check for me while this is happening. Mobar continues. He says, "Say what?"
At advantage because of spectacles?
Yes. Yeah. He says, they worshipped great beasts. Long ago. Some say before the wood. Creatures that roamed the depths. They would make sacrifices to them. But and he kind of like he looks around and he's kind of like falling into this mode where he's kind of nervous talking. And he says but Willow put an end to that. Yeah. He actually would say shit. Un momento, I need to look something up. Apologies.
No problem.
Because he would also say, he says Willow and someone else. Says he mentions another person. Ugh, bug flew in my face. Who?
Willow and Halaster. Back when he could walk.
No, he says Willow and Yanark. I couldn't remember that name because it's a crap name.
Not enough.
Just-
Yeah, dark.
Throwing that out there, Wizards of the Coast. Okay, so he's kind of like nervous talking, like stammering and stuttering as he says this to you. Ezra, you begin to kind of like circle the altar, looking for sigils, runes, script, something, right, to identify. You don't find anything that immediately pops out to you as language, but there is a base around the altar of pictographs. And they are... Well, there could definitely be deeper meanings to them, but the design of them is relatively straightforward. They show humanoid figures with tools, bows, spears, spear throwers, atlatls, right? Those types of things. And then they show this kind of like forested location, and then they show great beasts, or no, they show normal animals like deer and other things like that amidst the forest. And so it's like this scene, this transitionary scene, which eventually culminates into these great creatures coming out of the forest and hunting the hunters. And at the end of it, and this kind of like wraps and repeats a couple times, but it's the same scene throughout. But at the end of the scene, there's always this great cat-like figure, kind of like presiding, watching over the hunt of the entire thing.
Does it look like bones?
I'm a cat-like figure.
Not in as much. If you're going off of the scale of maybe like the size of the creatures that come out of the woods to hunt the humanoid figures. This thing seems like maybe it's, 10, 12 feet tall. It is a cat-like humanoid-ish shape, so in that regard, it does
Cast enlarge. Cast
it
enlarge
does
on me.
look like bones in some way, shape, form, or
it
fashion.
could be halflings. That would,
Yeah,
Cast
sure.
enlarge on me twice.
It could maybe be like that if the halflings were hunting very short deer and then very big other things came out of the woods, or normal-sized other things, I guess, came out of the woods to hunt the small halflings and deer.
Makes sense.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Sounds perfectly logical.
Twin spell enlarge.
That's not how the spell works.
on me both times.
So Mobar has kind of fallen silent as you all kind of take this in. He's just like, not like he is hesitant or anything like that, but he's kind of like waiting to see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I was gonna wait till.
All right. Well, I thought this would have more relevance to the Mobar situation. I guess not.
Well, I think it's very obvious that the sword is bait, because these guys probably would have ran off with it by now if it were okay to touch.
Oh, the
Yeah, I'll be
sword? The sword. Yeah. Powerful. Ancient.
I mean, both those things can be true and it still be cursed as fuck.
He grins and he has these like just horrid yellow fangs, right? And he says, not cursed. He kind of like, he has his bound hands and he kind of like reaches out and he flinches back away from the moonlight glow of the thing, right? And he says, painful to the wicked.
Well, we're pretty wicked.
Well, I mean, he just. Right. Okay.
Love you. Have fun.
All right,
says-
then. Where's his wolf, bro? We're sick of you.
Yeah, I'll take
Wolf,
him.
bro. What?
A man looked like me, also carried one of these, and I'll slowly pull out my silvered sword.
He kind of like hisses. And kind of like he does the like cat thing, like you're holding it, but he's like pulling away.
Odie is
Thing.
concerned.
Odie's like, "You talking about me?"
You speak my tongue.
But he goes, yeah, Borden, much more civil than you. What do you want to know about him?
You already know what I want.
What?
Where
Your
is
life.
he?
He left. He came here, studied the sword, got frustrated when he couldn't take it, did something wrong, something dark to it. Yeah, and then he left. He said he needed to meet with other allies. He had to go further, deeper. And he's just kind of like away from your silvered blade, right? He's just like, no, bed.
Right, I'll put it up.
He immediately, visibly, like tension just.
Have to go deeper.
Right.
Because not only is it more, it's not the fact that it's just more effective, and cuts through like their resistance to stuff, but it's actually quite painful, to aware.
Yep. Okay.
Aware of what?
I don't know where I hit him with the bolt that castigated him.
Probably. I mean, you were doing it as he was fleeing, right?
Yeah.
It was probably like on his
It was
back
in the middle of
shoulder.
the fight.
Oh no, yeah, it was at the beginning. Then it's probably on his chest or something like that.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll point at it. And I'll tap it. I'll see see this?
Yeah.
That doesn't come off. Not until I want it to come off.
Okay.
It lets me know where you are at all times.
I'm right here. Not going anywhere.
I'll unbind him.
And like rubs his wrists a little bit. Okay. I get the message.
Now, did Borden say where he was going to find others?
He didn't tell me where. He said that he was gonna stop by the Scourges on his way further down, that they might have something for him. But I don't know what or who they are.
So, I will tell you. Borden came down here originally with the intent to deal with werebats.
Kind of like looks at you, kind of cocks his head, confused.
Yeah, that's where I'm a little confused too.
This-
Why did he come to you guys?
He came here, proclaimed his presence to all, and said that he had come to study the old relics of the cult, to glean knowledge, and
Bros
before
evil.
he went further down, he said that there was an ally that he had to meet down below.
All right.
Male.
Unless any.
He didn't say. It's very cagey about that.
All right.
Well, I think we got just about as much as we can, unless I'm overlooking something incredibly obvious, and I kind of like.
Where's the
my
Scourges?
allies.
Scourges? Where are the Scourges?
But I don't know. I don't know who they are, what they are, where they are. He just said the Scourges. Something else. Scythian's Scourges.
I don't know what that means. Does that mean anything to anybody?
That doesn't ring me
Sounds a
bell.
lot like a Greek myth or some shit.
All right, there's a lot of rooms here. Is there anything waiting to jump out at us?
Animals. They roam the ruins. We don't use them ourselves. We stick to the caves. But there could be things nesting. I don't know. Just don't touch the sword. Just don't. Kind of like he kind of like edges away from it, right? And still very mindful. Like he doesn't move quick. He's very like doesn't want to give the impression that he's like trying to get away or anything like that. But he just like obviously looks uncomfortable near this sword.
I mean, all right then.
I
What do we
mean,
do with wares again? Is he a bad ware? Don't we have to kill him? Are we contractually obligated?
no, I'm not contractually obligated.
No bad. Just live in nature. Feed on natural things.
Just
Right,
live
right.
in
Before we
nature.
let you go, let me ask you a question.
Huh?
How well do you know Willow?
Yes. Willow. Treaties. We work together. She allows hunting, but in controlled amounts. Not to deplete the forest, and not to spread the curse. Not to spread the curse. Whatever
That's
we
something I
hunt.
can get behind.
Whatever we hunt must be in full. Basically saying like if they hunt a thing, like if they take a deer, the whole tribe drinks of the deer and kills it because they can't.
Right, so
They can't
basically
have a
this is-
were-deer running around.
This is exactly how Willow described their deal as well.
Who was the other one? Yaguk? Yanagu?
Ah,
Yenagu.
Yanark.
See, I was pretty close actually on both.
And he points and he says, "His blade, her ancient consort."
Oh, consort. Okay, we're talking about drows now. What happened to that guy? Where'd he go? When was the last time you saw him?
He looks up at you and he kind of blinks and he says, "Died. She killed him."
Why? When?
We're talking about Willow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about Willow.
I just know the rumors.
I would love to know rumors.
He was his beloved. He came here, apprenticed to the Blackcloak. He brought her here.
Hold on, the Blackcloak, Halaster?
Yes.
Okay, I just didn't know if that's who.
He brought her here from her ancient wood. He thought that true love would be enough, but she hated this place. Halaster made the wood for her, grew the trees, made them permanent, made the sky. And she was happy with Nark for a time. But eventually it wasn't enough. She made to leave. He could not. He would not. Something within them. It broke. They fought. She struck him down. He kind of says, "But that was after all of this."
That's
Kinda
a cool rumor.
Gestures to the room. Says, "That was his. She carries the pair."
Hair.
Or
The
the
sibling.
other blade. Yeah,
Oh.
It was awkward. I thought that as well too.
yeah, it's a little awkward.
Interesting.
Uh,
You know, I gotta be
if
honest.
if she was looking to leave, why didn't she leave after the Yanark fellow's dead?
The madness subsided afterwards. The rage bled out as she realized what she had done. Stayed in his memory. But I think more. I think she had been here too long. I think Halaster had his hooks in her. I don't think she can leave more.
All right.
All right, well, you've been very helpful.
Right.
One more thing, Mr. Batman. How did you get this? And then I'll do like a shocking grasp to have lightning kind of trickle around my fingers.
I was young, a whelp once. I took to the shadows, grew strong, but not strong enough. I delved further below, and one day found myself surpassed. I fled. I came to a archway. It opened for me. I rushed inside. There was a darkness there. It left me changed.
Dude, we can get permanent lightning powers from the arches? Bro.
No.
You said we could. We just said that.
He kind of like he stops and he's kind of like he's less tense, right? He's still kind of like obviously you guys just murdered half his tribe, but he's also he has this kind of like air of a creature of nature, like a very killer be killed. Like the fact that his people are dead doesn't seem to bother him in as much as the fact that he could be dead in the very near future. So he has this kind of like chatty Cathy, like giving you guys what you want kind of scenario. But all of a sudden he kind of like shifts in this moment, and he says, "Ezra, you're not staying, you're leaving."
Why would
We're
we
gonna
stay?
be through the place probably periodically.
Sure, but now we know you. Can regather the tribe, go back to normal.
Yeah, how about next time let's not start off with supplication.
Absolutely. Our. And he doesn't like supplicate himself, but he kind of like dips a little, like he understands that gesture, and he kind of like is mimicking it, and he says, "We will definitely be more judicious in our negotiations in the future. You, of course, a free reign to come and go as you please, but if you are going," he kind of like pauses, and he has this like look of consternation on his face, like he's just like, "If you are going, maybe do something about that."
What,
Turn
the
over to
sword?
the worm.
What is he pointing at?
He's
I'm
pointing
assuming-
at the sword.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. Sure, maybe.
Does
What
it
do
appear to be metal?
You want us to just take it out?
Well, I mean, it clearly
Just not while I'm here. No, definitely not.
I mean, Ezra summons his mage hand.
But yes. Okay. Mage hand comes up, right?
I'm just keeping it right next to me as
Okay.
an option.
Maybe we should come back for it. Maybe we should ask her what the hell this does before we touch it.
I mean,
I don't know. Maybe
Like-
she's crazy though.
meta out of character. I was thinking about forcing this dude to pick the sword up for us, but
He clearly does not want to. He will probably
No,
bite his own
I'm not
tongue.
gonna.
He
Yeah,
will $1 million baby himself.
yeah probably.
I think
It
that's
makes
the only time
He
you've
makes a
used that
return.
It's bad.
We had made it like a month.
It's been a long time, actually.
Yeah, well, it hadn't been applicable until now.
Fair enough.
I vote we ask literally anyone about what the hell it is.
Yeah, I think we need a little bit more information on
I mean,
it.
it's clearly not going anywhere.
I mean, there's got to be a reason it's here. Like she has to know it's here.
Do you want me to identify it?
Can you do that without touching it?
You must touch through the casting.
That seems like a poor choice, but if you would like to do that while I get 30 to 50 feet away, you may.
30 to 50 feet away. Wow. Wow.
He said it causes pain and doesn't want to be here when it's touched.
Well, apparently it only hurts those who are wicked.
Yeah.
We just
unquote.
betrayed and killed someone's entire family. And friends. But, you know, family. There's a demon blood debt against us. That sounds pretty wicked.
Oh shit.
So
Well,
hold on.
mostly
So the
against
thing,
Matt.
so the thing with the sword is that it hurts people who are wicked. Is that like
That
all
is
we know
what the
about
map
it?
Yeah,
All right.
Well-
I'm gonna re-ask him that, but I'm gonna insight check his response.
Ah. Ah. It's a powerful blade. Yes. It hurts those of the and he was angry. So he did something. I don't know what. But he said if he couldn't take it, then no one should.
Okay, that sounds.
Borden
cursed.
said this.
Yes.
Dude, I think Dog Dad is evil. Like actually fully evil.
You think everybody's evil?
Yeah, but
We're
no,
wicked.
that's-
We have a
that-
demon
that-
blood dad against us.
Yeah, but this sounds.
I mean, that's kind of an
actively evil.
evil-y way to think about things.
If I can't have it, no one will.
Fair
Yeah, like
Yeah. Dog Dad might be evil.
sounds actively evil.
Actively evil.
Actively
Did you want
manipulate.
to actually insight check this guy?
Yeah, I
Hold on a
would
second.
actually.
Okay.
I want to get an idea if he's telling the truth about kind of which one do I want to know more about? If the wickedness thing is true about it, or if Borden actually trapped it in some way.
Okay.
Oh, so hold on. Actually, before I'm just gonna incite the rumor about the sword, about if someone's wicked, they can't wield it or something like that.
Gotcha.
You want me to roll it?
Yeah, sure.
Sitting.
Okay. 16. The werebat seems incredibly nervous. Seems quite chatty and forthcoming with information.
They do be seeming like that.
He might come off with a little bit of an air of maybe he's like giving more than he actually knows to try to like increase his chances or make himself seem useful, right? But generally speaking, at least on this, it doesn't seem like he's lying. His physical reaction more than maybe his words. He seems real fucking apprehensive to go get close to that sword.
Is it the same reaction to when the silvered blade came out?
It is a very similar reaction to the silver blade coming out, actually. Yes.
So, you said Borden might have done something with the blade. Do you have any inclination as to what? Cast something? Did he? Rock gonna fall on us?
Yeah.
That is a good point. Are there any rocks suspended above it? 'Cause that's happened more than once.
No, there's open. There's just a ceiling above you. No
Are there
rocks
any-
or anything like that.
Any tubes that look like a rock could come out of?
No, no. Mobar says I don't know the exact what he did, what it will do. But he did a ritual, spoke dark words, cut open a squirrel from neck to tail, bled it out on the altar. It drank the blood.
I kind of glance over at Ashes as he's talking about this. I'm like,
That's like a Tuesday in the order. Fine.
I mean,
I'm just-
Cutting squirrels neck to tail? Is Tuesday? Bro.
I mean, they're blood hunters, you know? They've got
I
a...
didn't know squirrels.
yeah, maybe
blood
they
was-
hunt the blood. They don't gotta fucking drink it.
Well,
feed
it
it
depends on the order.
Feed it to weird.
That
stones.
does sound a little questionable, but there are absolutely dark practices or like the order that Ashes is a part of is not like they're not a goody two shoes paladin order. They're a get things done, keep the world from being overrun by wares order. And
Wait,
other
Asher
dark
isn't
things that go
paladin?
bump in the night. Say
I
what?
thought
I
paladin.
whatever. I still vote we don't touch it until we talk to what's her name about it. Willow.
I gotta say though, I am a little bit concerned.
Mobar
It's
wrings his
clear
hands.
that she has had interactions with Halaster, and Halaster, anybody who's had connection with that guy is
Has. He still
Right.
visits on occasion.
Do you know who Halistry is?
He kind of like,
Yes.
Oh, the dragon! I wanted to ask about the dragon. Don't let me forget about that before he leaves.
He's
Yeah, sounds good.
annoying, slow, but narrow focused.
What?
they're talking about the tree.
No, I know he's talking about the tree.
It seems to have had a bad interaction with the tree in the past.
All right, what about the dragon? What do you know about that boy?
Dragon.
The one with the sword stuck in his head.
Head sword. Synesthesia. What I can't remember its name.
Tiralai. No.
Yeah, I was not even close. Fuck.
He kind of like pauses. He says, "Yeah, I think so." He says,
Valdemar.
Is that supposed to mean anything?
The dragon. Real name. A fraught creature, fell creature, when it first came. The wood. Willow was reluctant, as she normally is, to interfere with nature. But the beast was rampaging. Terrible. Adventurers came. Willow put them to work. They failed. But succeeded in a fashion. The last one left standing, a member of, kind of like growls, and he says, of the Enclave. Held a sword, enchanted, pierced the beast through its skull, changed the creature. The wielder died, but the dragon, no longer Valdemar, now Tirulai.
All right. When did that happen?
Decades ago.
Oh, okay. All right then.
And after that, he started doing what Willow wants.
He changed. No longer the rampaging sower of poison. He took a remnant of a fortification on the river for his abode, and then he and Willow made pacts, began to work together.
Hey, Ezra. I don't remember if you have this or not, but did you have a way to dispel magic? You think something like that might get rid of a ritual you might have done on the sword?
I don't. I'm sorry.
We discussed this ad nauseum. He does not have a magic sledgehammer.
All right.
Fair enough.
It's something I can look into at a later date, but currently it's not.
That's fine. I think we need to do a little bit more looking around here yet, though, before we do something about the sword.
Ah.
Don't worry. We'll be back.
Oh boy.
It was fine at first. Lived here a long time. Just don't touch the sword. Little ones touch the sword. It's fine, fine. But ever since Borden left, bad dreams.
Bro.
I'm not gonna touch it, but I'm gonna go near the sword. Hold out my
Ashes,
hand.
this isn't
I want
good,
to
dude.
insight the sword.
This is one of the more evil things I've ever heard.
Insight
No,
the
actually,
sword.
what I do want to do is I want to like try and feel some sort of evil presence to that.
Touch it with your astral self.
Okay. Sure. Roll me an insight.
Okay.
Nice.
21. Very interesting. Okay. The sword itself, you get no real reaction from. The pale glow, as you kind of like get close to it, the moonlight glow, feels soft on your skin. It feels almost kind of comforting, truth be told. But the proximity, what you really feel is, again, that those waves of primeval energy coming off not the sword, but the blood-stained altar, right? And those, they send chills up your spine. It honestly feels like you're being hunted, like some great beast is stalking you in the night, just waiting for you to turn your back so that it can pounce.
Do you think maybe the sword is holding back something?
I'll be honest, I don't know enough about altars and swords that are in them to make that call.
I will also say this, now that someone has actually stated that they're getting close to the sword. It is difficult to see because of the nature of the blade itself. It's made of stone and it's napped, right? So it has these weird bowls, these circular depressions all throughout the entire thing, and it makes light play off of it weird. And it's got this kind of dark gray slate feel to it anyways, and it's glowing with this moonlit glow. So there's a lot going on, which is why it kind of obscures this. But as you're quite close to it and you're kind of like intently examining it, right? Trying to feel something from it, you see, much like the lightning patterns over Mobar's body, but incredibly faintly, right? You see these thin little rivulets of silver webbed through the entirety of the blade. It's like whatever stone this was napped from had silver running through it.
I am an expert on stone now.
You have stone cunning?
Some say I do.
Dwarf now.
From his
'cause of
dwarf
his
neck.
necklace.
Very true.
I'm a dwarf cat, much like Grumpy Cat, but also tall.
So tall.
I will approach and look at it as well.
Approach and look at it.
Only after Matt is finished, though.
Okay. Anything else from you, Matt?
I'll shoot you forward.
I will look at it, but not touch it.
So
I point out the silver. I'm like, I've seen some
a couple
silver
of
through it.
things,
That's
Bones.
yes, that is definitely something, and that is definitely stone, and I know these things because I am part dwarf now.
As you are looking at it, it's not just stone. Specifically, it's
Is it also bone, bro? Is it a hat trick?
It's silver bone.
It's made of flint,
No, that's not bone.
and it is it's shot through with veins, tiny spider veins of silver.
Now it intensifies.
Well, we thought it was
Yeah,
gold.
a little bit, right? But it looks beautiful, and from I'm telling you, Bones, this from your knowledge of how stone works, of how
Yes,
of
I
how
know
the
these
earth
things.
works, right?
I know them now.
This imparted knowledge that the heart of the mountain gives to you.
Jake is unhappy that I know these things.
For the fact that this blade is rammed through a body and buried probably a good half a foot to a foot into a marble altar, it has to be invested with really powerful magic. Like
Is
you
it a
also
curvy
see-
blade? Straight.
It's straight.
Is
It's
it
kind of like
creepy?
triangular.
Whoa.
So it's wider at the base where the leather wrapped hilt is, right?
It's like
It
a
doesn't have a
scalpel.
cross guard. It's just got the blade, like this wide, kind of like napped edged blade, and it goes all the way up and tapers at a point. But it's the length of a longsword. It's a very odd blade. Bones, I'm gonna say you notice this because of the
20 perception?
very high
Wildfire?
perception and because of the stone cunning. It's a combination, but there are faint sigils that you can just barely make out up the length of the blade. But they're incredibly faint, like they have faded with the passage of time. Like they're not carved deep into the stone. It's like they were just barely like chiseled on top in just like the faintest imperceptible depth. But because of your absurdly high perception and stone cunning, you can just make them out. There are a couple of them going up the length of the blade.
Some sigils, huh? Like cursed sigils.
I mean, what are the chances that this prostrated entity with the sword is a lock? It's containing some element that Borden wants to instigate on?
I don't know. He said he wanted it. I just don't understand why What's Your Willow wouldn't have removed it like forever ago. Like, there's got to be a reason why, right? If it's like this, like super strong, it's clearly super strong. It's in marble.
Well, if she's been touched by Halaster, maybe she doesn't even remember this is here.
Right, but it's been here a while. Tons of people have come through. Somebody would have removed it if they could have.
I mean, all right, let's sword aside. What about this altar that's like super freaking sus? Like,
Oh, it's super evil. It's clearly evil. They drank the squirrel
I'm just
blood.
saying that there's
It's clearly
clearly
a-
some kind of interaction between this super evil altar and this super powerful sword.
So you
Because
want to?
Borden did something with the altar.
I mean, we already released. We are already partially responsible for 4 demons that are loose.
I'm
dealt
not
with-
responsible in any way, shape, or form. for that.
Dealt with 3 of them. Now there's 1.
Ashes. Borden trained you, right? You ever
Well,
Exhibit.
technically, actually, he didn't train me.
He
But,
recruited you, right?
Fathered you?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Oji-san?
Oji-san.
But yeah. He did teach me quite a few things, but on my field
Did he?
trainings with somebody else.
did he have anything that sounds like some sort of curse or trap that would make a feel hunted? I'm getting a big vibe of some trying to stalk me through the woods as I get near this thing.
To the best of my knowledge, no, there's nothing that no art, skill, or spell that we have to leave behind a other than maybe that, and I point to the brand of castigation.
So I will say this, Ashes. There are a lot of when you left, you were a foundling, a fledgling in the order, right? You left to go prove yourself, basically. You were taught a lot about the order's capabilities and practices, but mostly you were taught about controlling yourself and about what the order considered right and wrong, right? And
Correct.
Keep in mind how drastically your perception of right and wrong has changed since you came here. But that aside, you know that there are powerful hunters within the order that have crazy abilities of myriad shapes and sizes and different forms, right? Your shit. What's her name? I can't remember her name. Faywin? Yeah. So, for example, when she shifts forms, and you've actually witnessed this before, because this is something that she likes to do to new recruits to kind of fuck with them or haze them, basically.
Mm-hmm.
She has something that's, when she shifts forms, that is basically akin to dragon fear. That she can just take people down to their knees with pressure and terror in that instance of shifting into her werebore form.
It's hockey.
Yeah. So there are definitely, you definitely know of special abilities, and many of them kept secret within the order that people have, but this doesn't ring any bells specifically.
Okay. I don't think this was his doing. I think he was trying to get rid of it.
That's not what the bat said.
He said he cut a squirrel over it. Maybe
The
he's
bat
trying-
said
He said, "If I can't have it, no one can have it."
the bat said he cursed it.
Shit.
He said he was mad, much like Lippo's mad. Damn, look at Odie move his face into petting position. He said if I can't have it, no one will.
I must
Or
have
no one can.
stepped away for a second at the
Yeah.
point.
You did. That's when we were talking about him being real evil.
Yeah, we're pretty convinced that Dad Dog's not so great.
Okay. All right.
I think that's an appropriate reaction. Yeah, okay.
All right. mean-
All right.
Oh.
Look at that paw.
All right. Well, let's think about this. I don't think we're gonna find any information about what
I
Borden
vote we
might have
leave
did.
it here.
Yeah. So I don't think we're gonna find any information about what Borden did to this thing.
Well, we
I
could just
think
find him and ask him.
If he's still here.
Right.
It's not. He left days ago. A week more.
Well, we've been on the floor below here, so I don't know where he would have gone.
It's quite some time.
Well, I'll just don't touch it in the meantime. Or do. I mean, that's up to you, really.
No.
You see, he seems like genuinely sad, like depressed all of a sudden. Like he
Aside
thought it was
from
going to be rid of
Willow,
it.
aside from Willow, anyone else possibly know anything about this sword?
Don't know.
All right. Well, I think he's
Dragon, maybe. Maybe not. Old Krishnan.
Hare Krishna.
Perhaps.
Who dat?
Who there?
Complicated.
Helpful.
Yeah. Ghost.
All right. Where might this ghost be?
North portion of the forest. A grave. Shows blinking lights. Be careful. He has a vengeance. You might get answers, but scant few.
All right. Well, aside from trying to murder us and supplicate us, if you will, you've been very helpful.
Honestly, more helpful than most.
Yep.
And I moved to.
That's Mobar. Helpful.
I moved to untie him.
He's already untied. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Ashes. I thought we still
untied
had
him
him like.
Nope. Ashes untied him earlier after the whole like sword fiasco.
I mean, unless y'all got any more questions, I think Mobar, you're good to go.
I'm good to go on him.
Yes.
See you later. Don't try and supplicate us again.
He kind of like hops away, right? Like like hops up out of the building and over here, still like looking at y'all, still kind of like looking past you and looking at the sword, and he kind of like keens a little bit, and he.
Oh, hey, also, if you see anyone and they identify themselves as Skull Takers, don't touch them or I'll kill your whole family.
Skull Takers.
Yep, Skull Takers.
And he turns and he kind of like hops, flaps, and is gone.
That's just for the future, just in case.
Fair enough.
So
Mobar
I
the
step back.
albino flies into the night.
All right, so I step kind of out into the opening out here.
Okay.
Get out of the alt.
Very almost immediately, right? Like you step out of the altar room, out of the tabernacle, and out into the kind of like chill fog, and you feel this weight come off of you. Your heartbeat slows drastically, almost immediately. You no longer feel that that presence, that watchful presence. And you realize, like, you've been sweating.
Warm in there.
That's
kind of as the rest of the group gets out here. I'm gonna kind of look to Ashes and I'm gonna say, well, what do you think?
not entirely sure. Warden told me he came down here to deal with werebats. It seems that wasn't actually his objective.
Maybe it started that way and then he found the sword.
Right.
Maybe we don't have to assume the worst outright.
No, I'm not assuming the worst. I'm just
No, that's
confused.
Matt whispers under his breath.
He whispers, "What, heaven?"
If I can't have it, no one can.
Yeah, Woo. All right, well that's good. You shouldn't assume the worst. Keep
I'm
your
gonna say
spirits
that
high.
sounds a little out of character.
Has obviously you've been coming down here for a little while now. Borden spent a lot of time down here in the past.
I do not know. Jeremy, do I know that?
So you know that Borden's main, like kind of main scene was Elturel.
Yeah.
But you do know that Borden, like in conversations with him, you know that Borden has traveled much of the Sword Coast. He's actually even been down to Kalimshan. So
Shit.
he's a well-traveled individual. He has gone. He hasn't quite gone to like Cormyr, to like the Sea of Fallen Stars or anything like that. But he's been up and down the Sea of Swords. And he's quite well-traveled. Borden's actually relatively old. Like, you're not 100% on his age, but he's in like his like 70s or 80s maybe. The curse of lycanthropy can quite frequently elongate one's life to the point to where they're almost kind of like not quite elven, but maybe like half elven in kind of like longevity, you know?
Like being the Avatar.
Yeah, right? That type of scenario. Aside, like, so you know he is well traveled, but you don't know of any specifics of him spending time in Undermountain.
Okay. Well, brings me to my next question. You think we need to keep moving after him right now?
Yeah. I prefer it.
All right.
After
So-
where? We don't know where the boy went. The man went.
We know he went down. And considering we cleared most of the lost level, maybe there's another way down somewhere around here.
There certainly is. However, you know, there are things to take care of above us. Growing in
Yeah.
evil.
There are, but Ashes is worried about his dad.
Who is also evil. You just want to abandon the level without knowing how to get back up and try and go down more.
I want to help my friend who's worried about his
No,
dad.
okay, I understand the top level, what you want. I'm talking through the logistics of it.
I don't care about those other things.
Okay.
Now, the albino Batman thingy said down. Did he mean deeper into the mountain, or did he just mean to the south?
It definitely sounded like deeper
It
into the
seems like
mountain.
a weird way to say that in a multi-level dungeon.
I mean, the bat thing is weird already, so it could be.
I feel like I could step in as DM and clarify that. It definitely sounded like deeper into the dungeon.
And you don't seem like you guys don't think this is something that's just supposed to resolve as we go deeper. Like we're not supposed to. What if it's 5 levels? Like how do we know how far down the man went?
7.
We're just gonna blitz through levels until we find him.
Well,
I
mean,
would agree that I would prefer to have a mapped out way to go home.
Where are these Scourge people? Didn't he go talk to the Scourge people? Maybe they
Yeah,
know what level he went to. I'm just saying, we can't just go willy-nilly down.
So he said, to repeat information that you guys received from Mobar, that Borden left, heading deeper into the dungeon to meet with someone, and he said that on his way he would be meeting with these Scythian scourges.
Okay, do we know what... Has anyone ever heard of those? Scythian Scourges? Scythian or Scourges? Ezra? Is there a level called
assume that would be
Slayer
it.
of the Scythian Scourges?
That means nothing to me.
I have no idea what that is. We could ask Willow.
I suppose we can. She might know. I just don't love the idea of just trying to blitz through levels without knowing where we're trying to go. Like, if it's the next level down, we can probably handle that. If it's the one after that, I don't know. If it's the one after that, that's a big question. If it's 20s, I don't know how powerful Dog Dad is.
Yeah, if he's going through these areas, he's gonna likely encounter things that are gonna slow him down as well.
All right, whatever. Let's go to Willow. Let's see if she knows where these Scythian boys are. You gonna go take care of the cloakers on the way? Cloakers, Willow. Dragon, maybe. Dragon might know.
What's our goal if we hit the dragon up? Just to say, hey, what's up, dragon?
I don't know. Talk to the dragon. See if he knows anything about Scythian scourges. He's a dragon. Dragons know things.
Maybe we start with Willow, because we've already got a rapport built there. And if she doesn't know anything, maybe try the dragon.
You wanna swing by and deal with the cloakers first, then? Just so we have good news to give her when we go back.
The cloakers are near the dragon.
Well, it's like, hey, we did this thing. Now, do you know
They're
this?
both north.
I
my
thought cloakers were north, and like dragon was like.
I heard north for both of them.
Well, north on this map is a pretty huge area. To be
Yeah,
fair,
no,
so
it's a
it's
small map.
south, honestly.
Is big map. Map is big.
Pretty small for most of our maps.
I think this is the biggest map so far on scale, actually.
Bigger than 3?
Yeah, just not by a lot, but yes, I think Willowwood is one of the biggest maps so far.
Just doesn't feel big.
Well, we've
Okay.
only skirted around the outside.
Right. All I'm saying is I just don't think that we should be going after Dog Dad without knowing, like, at least what level he's heading to. That's what I'm saying.
Yep, no argument. That seems like reasonable.
Like, if he's going to the next one, let's do it. Would it be 7? Is 7 next? Is Loth actually lost, or is Lost like 5.5? And then the next one's
But, like,
actually 6?
Lost counts
here's
as
my
the
question.
6th level.
The hidden hold.
Where
is
do you draw the line? At what point are you not willing to help Ash's dad?
It's not that I'm not willing to help. I think we will die. You want to?
There's a chance we're gonna die everywhere.
You want to blitz through these levels, which have already been trying.
I think there's a
Just
lot of
trying to
assumptions
catch up to
being
the
made. We don't know where he is.
That's what I'm saying. Let's try and find out where the boy's going.
But to a counterpoint, it's someone in need that's important to someone in our party.
Two more levels down is where I draw the line.
Okay, Ashes, that is how much your family means to Bones. 2 levels.
That's how much I think we're going to survive. And I think 2 levels is pushing it.
It's fine. I trust he can handle himself.
Don't use that tone with me, Ashes.
I mean, it sounds like he's trying to bring back an evil god, so, there's that. Ezra thinks the worst. He's...
So, what would you guys like to do? Where are you heading?
I think we're heading to Willow first.
I thought
Okay.
we're heading to Cloakers.
Well, sorry. We'll do Cloakers, then head to Willow. Because then we've got some bargaining.
Good news.
All right. So, if I am to take you in directions, what directions
North.
am I
We're
taking?
gonna go to Willow's place and then head north from there.
Okay, so you're gonna take the edge of the forest back to Willow's and then head north from Willow's.
Or at least that's what I think.
Whatever. I don't care.
Not bad.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just like we're getting real non-committal, so I'm just making sure. All
Fuck
right.
this, I'll drive. I'll drive the whole damn thing.
No. Oh, well, okay, yeah. That's I thought you were saying like drive as in like move tokens, and I was like, oh
No,
god,
no.
no.
I want to go
I mean,
due north into the damn forest to find the cloak.
If no one's gonna say anything, I'm gonna take us where I want to go.
Yeah, I know. Well, I want to go due north into the damn forest to find the cloakers.
Into the forest? So like from where we are through the forest.
She said they're in the forest.
To the north from her place.
That's not what she said. She said in the north side of the forest, cloakers. Being dumb.
Okay. So take us back to the bottom of the forest again, and we'd like to go directly through the center of the forest, going straight north.
I'm being persecuted because I don't want to kill my character to blitz through 18 months of
but you want
content.
to walk through the dark forest that we have no
it's
idea
fine.
what's
I
in
don't
it.
want to
Just
blitz
straight
through
through.
18 months of content.
Don't want to
Try
kill
and
my
find the
character.
dog, to try and find the dog dad that is clearly evil.
So
Maybe now's a great time to take a break.
I think now, as the party moves and argues around the edge of the forest, making their way back towards Willow's Tower with the intention of eventually heading north into the forest, around the forest, somewhere with the goal of finding these cloakers. We will go on break. As the bickering of the party echoes around the edge of the primeval Willowwood. We'll be back in just a few. Thanks for watching. Bye, everybody.